اوكي. نبدأ الآن جلسة التدريب التقني تكنولوجيا البلوك تشين، يلقيها الدكتور ألبرتو فرنانديز، أستاذ مشارك في كلية إدارة الأعمال بجامعة العلوم والتقنية في الفجيرة.
And now we're going to have a technical training session delivered by Dr. Alberto Fernandez entitled Blockchain Technology.
So can I have your presentation, doctor? You have it? No, and the other laptop. You have it?
Oh, and the other laptop. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, everyone. It's a great pleasure, a great honor, and a great responsibility to represent the College of Business Administration in the Innovation Week for the University of Science and Technology Fujairah. First of all, happy Valentine's Day to everyone, to our loved ones. It's a special day, very special day. So, first of all, His Excellency Professor Ali Abul Nur, Chancellor of the University of Science and Technology Fujairah, His Excellency Professor Zain El Abdin Rizk, Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, His Excellency Professor Ahmed Zain El Abdin, Vice Chancellor for Administrative and Financial Affairs, His Highness Engineer Mohamed Aboud, TDR Hackathon representative, and His Excellency Noura Al-Hindasi, Head of Studies and Corporate Communication, HR Department at Fujairah Government. Dear professors, colleagues, and dear students, welcome and thank you very much. I apologize always for my pronunciation of the names. By the way, my name is Alberto Ibañez. I know very few people know that. They always call me Alberto Fernandez, which is my second last name. So welcome to the Innovation Week at the University of Science and Technology Fujairah on the blockchain technology. How many business communication students do I have here? Business communication students, very nice. How do we have to breathe before a presentation? Yes, you know how, right? Okay, this is the moment. This is the moment. Okay, let's go. So what is blockchain technology? What is Bitcoin? How does it work? And how can it be used? You know, Bitcoin, blockchain technology is a very, very, very digital concept. And because it is a very digital concept, it is extremely difficult to grasp. It's not something that we can touch. It's not something that we can manipulate. It's not something that we can tangibly have in our hands. And this is why it's so difficult to understand the concept of blockchain technology. You know, my background as a computer science engineer, and despite of that, it is still difficult for me to understand what blockchain technology is. So let's try in the following minutes to have an understanding, a clear understanding of what blockchain technology is. So let's go. There is a concept very close to blockchain technology that we all know about. And this concept is Bitcoin. So let's start with something that we all know, and then we will work from here to the concept of blockchain. So Bitcoin, in 2008, just a brief history of Bitcoin. In 2008, the first description of Bitcoin was published by an individual or a group of individuals under the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto in a very famous paper. So there was somebody or a group of persons, we don't still know who developed a paper where they explained the concept of blockchain and the concept of Bitcoin. Nobody knows who Satoshi is. Absolutely nobody. All the intelligence agencies around the world have been trying to find who Satoshi is. And still they don't know. The best intelligence agencies of the world have been trying to find out, and still they don't know. Well, lately, they think that they have traced it to a professor in Australia. By the way he was writing the papers, the words he put in the papers. So maybe it was a university professor in a research paper who created the blockchain and who created Bitcoin. That was 2008. In 2009, the Bitcoin network goes live and the first Bitcoins are mined. What does it mean that a Bitcoin is mined? I have no idea. I only know that Satoshi said, every time that I'm going to give you very hard, very complicated mathematical problems. And whoever solves these mathematical problems, I will pay them with a Bitcoin. So you want to have a Bitcoin and you are good in math, solve these hard mathematical problems that Satoshi developed. And this is called mining Bitcoins, creating the Bitcoins. Now, the problem is that Satoshi decided that each problem was going to be harder and harder and harder and harder. So now we need very powerful machines. We cannot do it by hand, I can assure you that. And we need very powerful computers in order to solve these mathematical problems. You know, in fact, if there are any gamers in the room, I don't know if there are any gamers in the room, I'm a gamer. You know that the graphic cards of the computers have become much more expensive because they are all being used not for gaming, but for mining Bitcoins, for creating, solving these problems. Because the graphical cards of the computers have a lot of processing power. And we need a lot of mathematical power to solve these problems. So mining a Bitcoin means to create a Bitcoin. This is what it means, to create a Bitcoin, okay? In 2010, in 2009, the Bitcoin network goes live. In 2010, the first cryptocurrency exchange appears so that people could exchange their cryptos, their Bitcoins, because before there were exchanges, what people were doing is, Mohammed, I want to sell you a Bitcoin. We will meet in Rumelia, and I will bring 200 dirhams, and you will bring a USB, and I will give you the 200 dirhams, and I will give you the Bitcoin. This is how it was done before, okay? But not anymore. Now there are exchanges, and Mohammed and myself, we can meet in the exchange and develop and make the currency exchange. In 2011, one Bitcoin equals $1 US. One Bitcoin equals $1 US. Now everybody is thinking, what if I had purchased 100 Bitcoins there? How much is worth a Bitcoin right now? $42,000, $43,000. So had I purchased $1,000 in Bitcoins, I would have millions of dollars now. In fact, I think we all know the story of the person who paid a couple of pizzas in Domino's Pizzas with Bitcoins. Yes, he paid 30 Bitcoins for the pizzas, and now he's on TV saying he paid around $500 million for those two pizzas if he had kept them. So that was 2011. In 2013, one Bitcoin equals now $100. In 2014, Microsoft starts accepting Bitcoins. So when a big company starts accepting Bitcoins, people start realizing that this is serious. In 2017, one Bitcoin equals $10,000. Nowadays, today, one Bitcoin around $42,000. Okay, but Bitcoin is not blockchain. Bitcoin is just a currency that runs on blockchain. Blockchain is just an underlying data structure which is used for many things. There are over 7,000 cryptocurrencies that are based on blockchain. Now, let's see what is blockchain now. Let's see what is blockchain. Blockchain is a data structure. What do you mean it's a data structure? Blockchain is a score that says this is a Bitcoin, and under it, it says this Bitcoin belongs to Mohammed. This is a block. This is a Bitcoin, and it belongs to Mohammed. Now Mohammed sells his Bitcoin to Ahmed. Now we create another block that says Ahmed, this is a Bitcoin, and Ahmed owns this Bitcoin. So Mohammed here owned a Bitcoin, but now Ahmed is the one who owns the Bitcoin. Now Ahmed gives it to Mohammed Al-Sabahi. We create another block which says Bitcoin Mohammed Al-Sabahi. And this is how we build the blockchain. This is how we call it the blockchain. We have a block, another block, and they constitute the blockchain. So we can know who has the Bitcoin now, who is Mohammed Al-Sabahi, but we can know that Ahmed had it before, and we know that Mohammed was the first one who had it. So this is why we call it a blockchain. It's a block with data that is chained to the other areas of the blockchain. This is what constitutes the blockchain. Okay, the Bitcoin ecosystem contains a public network in which anyone, including malicious participants, can participate without restrictions. What does that mean? Now, okay, we know that Mohammed Al-Sabahi has a Bitcoin. How do we know that Mohammed Al-Sabahi has a Bitcoin? Well, we know it because 100 million computers in the world have copied this information that Mohammed Al-Sabahi owns a Bitcoin in 100 million different computers. Now, we want to play with the blockchain, okay? And I am a malicious programmer that wants to play with the blockchain. So I'm going to put in my computer, Alberto owns the Bitcoin. What is the problem with that? I am going to send this to everybody else, and 100 million computers are going to say that this Bitcoin belongs to Mohammed Al-Sabahi, and only me is saying that it belongs to me. So the blockchain, the decentralized structure is going to kick me away, and it's going to say 100 million people say that it belongs to Mohammed Al-Sabahi, you go away because it doesn't belong to you. So the amazing breakthrough that came with Bitcoin is that although malicious participants can be in the system works without a regulator. The system regulates itself. Now, so the Bitcoin ecosystem is self-stabilizing, more secure. When it is more secure, there are more participants. Because there are more participants, it becomes more secure. Because it becomes more secure, Bitcoin or other coins increase their price. So it is a self-scale system. This is what the ecosystem of blockchain is. Now, one of the important issues of blockchain is that we cut the middleman. There is no middleman. Before, I wanted to send Mohammed, I wanted to send Mohammed 100 dirhams. So I would go to my bank and I would say, please make a transfer from my account to Mr. Mohammed. And the bank will make the transfer. And if you say, Alberto, you didn't send me the transfer, I say, call the bank. You will see that I sent you the transfer. So you will call the bank and the bank will tell you, yes, Alberto sent you 100 dirhams. Now with blockchain, we don't need an intermediary. We don't need an intermediary. And this is a very important change. This is a critical change. Because we don't need banks. I can sell directly my 100 dirhams in Bitcoins to Mohammed. And Mohammed and the other 100 million people that are in the blockchain will say that I have sent him 100 dirhams in Bitcoin. So there is no middleman. Be careful, because that has amazing consequences for the financial markets, for the companies, for the small businesses, for our personal and our professional lives. There is no middleman. And because there is no middleman, you know, when we are sending money away, the bank charges us commissions. Yes? Has anybody sent money home lately? 3%, 5% when you are sending money to Europe or to the United States or to Japan, because the banks want a piece of the cake. But with blockchain, I'm sending it without an intermediary. So if I send 100 dirhams, it will arrive exactly 100 dirhams. Banks have a problem with that. Companies don't, because companies have to move money all around the world. Carrefour, which has shops all around the world, they have to move money all around the world. And they are so happy about that, because there is no transaction cost. There is no middleman. So this is one of the things that blockchain has brought to us. Now, blockchain technology has a wide range of applications for consensus building. In a finite time rate, all the participants will say that this person owns a Bitcoin, thanks to the block building chain. We create witnesses. Everybody can participate in the blockchain. Everybody can be a witness of the blockchain. So it is self-regulated. And this is one of the greatest values of the blockchain. Now, what are the key features of the blockchain? One of the key features of the blockchain is that it is a write-only. You know, when we have a Word document, we can write in the Word document, and then I can give it to Mohammed, and Mohammed can keep on writing on the Word document. But the blockchain works more like a PDF. I know that PDFs can be modified, but it works more like a PDF. I send to Mohammed a PDF, and he cannot modify it. And he can send it to anybody else, and they cannot modify it. This is the concept of the blockchain. So it cannot be modified. It is decentralized, so no need for intermediaries. It has consistency, it is resistance, and is open to everybody. Okay, what are some of the challenges that the blockchain proposes? Because there are big challenges, there are huge challenges. And the main challenge that the Bitcoin or the blockchain proposes is that it consumes a lot of energy. To create a Bitcoin, to use the blockchain, we need hundreds of machines that need huge power to develop this new Bitcoin for solving these mathematical problems. And we need energy for that. And we are burning coal, and we are burning oil, and we are burning many physical assets from Earth to create something digital. Please, I will say it again. We are destroying Earth, the environment, to create something that doesn't exist in our hands. Obviously, they are working on new blockchain protocols that will require less energy. And they are working on new cryptocurrencies or making the current cryptocurrencies much more energy efficient. But this is something that we have to be aware. The second is the scalability issue. When we are going to pay with a cryptocurrency through the blockchain, Visa, if there is 200 million people paying with a Visa card, the network will not collapse. But if there are 200 million people trying to buy or sell Bitcoins, the networks always collapse. Try to sell a Bitcoin the moment that the market takes a 10% down. It's impossible to sell the Bitcoin. You will go to Coinbase, you will go to, and they will say, oh, we are out of service, sorry. And the price will keep on falling. So we have to be aware of those challenges. But with every fork, with every new iteration of the blockchain, it becomes more efficient. It opens possibility for money laundering. They say that the cryptocurrency can be used for crime-related issues, but be careful with that, because 90% of the crime as of today is subsidized with paper money. And we have not eliminated paper money because 90% of the crime is based on paper money. And only 5% of crime is subsidized by cryptocurrencies. So be careful with the arguments, just check these arguments when they are given to you. So the question remains how far to how far we want to bypass the middleman, because also the middleman, we get rid of him, but the middleman can protect us sometimes. So Mohammed calls me and says, Alberto, the 100 dirhams that you said you were going to send me didn't arrive. The middleman will protect us. The bank will say, no, Mohammed, there is a statement here. Look, Alberto sent you the 100 dirhams. Or money is stolen. or Visa card is stolen, or number has been stolen when we are in Amazon or something like that. And suddenly, I remember I had 2,000 euros, about 8,000 dirhams stolen from my account, and they had been spent in the United States for baby clothes. I don't have babies. So the bank called me and they say, Alberto, we know that you don't have babies, but you have spent 2,000 euros in baby clothes in the United States, and we know that you are in the United Arab Emirates. How did you do that? And I said, I didn't do it. And they protected me, and they gave me back the money. So the middleman can protect you. So be careful. There are advantages about not being middleman, but there are disadvantages. Now, blockchain applications, and this is why we are here for. I was asked to give you some ideas about blockchain for your projects, for everything that you might be using. So what are some applications of blockchain? First one, secure sharing of medical data. Medical data is a very sensitive information that only doctors have to deal with, and it has to be protected. So the blockchain allows for one doctor to send the info from Fujairah to send the information to Abu Dhabi, another doctor, that he only can decrypt about a certain condition that you are going to be operated on, or that it has to be checked upon. So securing medical information is one of the elements that blockchain allows. And if you create a digital piece of art, somebody can copy and say, no, it's my piece of art. No, I'm going to put it in the blockchain, and it will say, beautiful piece of art, Alberto Ibáñez. And then when it is copied and pasted, somebody will say, I did this piece of art. And I say, no, look, it says, beautiful piece of art, Alberto Ibáñez, because you cannot eliminate the second part, the reference, from the block. Okay, so it helps to identify the artist. Same with music, same with songs. Cross-border payments. Every year, expats send $500 million to their countries. $500 million. 5% of that is taken by the banks, between 3 and 5%, and it takes a lot of time for the money to come sometimes. But with blockchain, this money will arrive instantly and without commissions. Real-time Internet of Things operating systems. What is Internet of Things? Well, let me tell you something. Internet of Things is that when we connect a machine with another machine. So we can connect our refrigerator to Carrefour. What do you mean we can connect our refrigerator to Carrefour? Well, I am going to program my refrigerator, saying to my refrigerator that I always want to have 8 strawberry yogurts, 10 tomatoes, and 5 cucumbers. I always want to have that in my, and if the number goes down, automatically my machine, my refrigerator, will talk to the machine of Carrefour. I'm doing nothing, huh? I'm just taking the last yogurt out of the refrigerator, and the refrigerator knows, and it will, and Carrefour will deliver whatever I need without my intervention. This is Internet of Things, connecting machines with machines. Personal identity security, for sure, anti-money laundering, as we say, supply chain and logistics monitoring. Imagine that we have a Tesla factory in the United Arab Emirates. A Tesla car has about 10,000 pieces. And these 10,000 pieces come from China, from Europe, from the United States. And then we assemble them together in the United Arab Emirates. And if a part of the car fails, since each part of the car has the reference of who brought it in the blockchain, you can say, okay, who was my supplier of this part 3,577? And we can trace it because it is in the blockchain. Okay. Advertising insights, original content creation, we talked about that, cryptocurrency exchange, real estate processing. If somebody is buying or selling the house, we go to real estate agency, and the real estate agency will be the intermediary. Not anymore. Not anymore. We have him that is selling the house, me who is buying the house, the blockchain, the reference, the blockchain, the reference, those blockchain get together. He was the previous owner of the house. Now I am the owner of the house. And we create the blockchain. This is how we create the blockchain. And finally, insurance agencies and cybersecurity. So those are just a few ideas that I wanted to share with you to give you some way of thinking about your potential projects for this week. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to be in the Innovation Week, and I'm very open to any questions for you. Thank you. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you.
I've got three questions, but I depend on time to answer. The first thing you have mentioned that there is no middleman. So I think there is most likely the chance of risk because the chance of money goes from one hand to another hand. So how would eliminate those risk factors? Suppose if an individual are going to use this blockchain, then I'm going to, just take off these risks. The second thing is that a legitimate system. By that, I mean, you could use anywhere throughout the globe. And how about those countries who are paying taxation have to be clear with it? Right? And and that's about, like I said, how I'm going to buy myself the blockchain because if I'm the buyer, so is that applicable to myself?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Very, very interesting questions. Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, with the first question, the middleman. With the middleman, we have two issues. The first one is that there are some benefits not to have the middleman. Now, how am I going to be sure that I have the Bitcoin, that this Bitcoin is mine? Well, instead of being a bank that, by the way, we all have our money in the bank, and we think that everything works wonderful. But if the bank gets hacked, our money is just a digital appointment somewhere in some server of the bank. So if this is erased, you know where our money goes, right? From the bank. It disappears because there is only one place, taken in one place. With the blockchain, we have all the participants in the blockchain. Everybody who has a Bitcoin has the blockchain in his or her computer. So when I am asking anybody can ask, who does this Bitcoin belong to? I receive 100 million answers saying that this Bitcoin belongs to Mohammed. Now, it is much more difficult to hack the blockchain than the bank, because to hack the bank, I have to hack one computer. To hack the blockchain, I have to hack 50% at least of the computers in the world that are in the blockchain. So I have to hack 100 million computers until the system says no. 50% of the people say that the Bitcoin belongs to Mohammed. 50% of the people says that the Bitcoin belongs to Alberto. So we have to hack 200 million computers because the blockchains are decentralized. Everybody in the system has a copy. Every time there is a transaction, there is a copy of this blockchain in my system. So much more difficult to hack, much more difficult to hack. And this is why it is decentralized. So there is not one person saying what, there is 200 million persons saying that what the blockchain is. And when there is a discrepancy, it is checked upon all of them. And the second was taxation, right? Taxation. Well, the issue with Bitcoin or with blockchain is that it's very new. So now there are regulations, and for example, the first years of when people were making profit on the blockchain, there was no way to pay taxes on that, or it had to go to a different type of tax rate. Now, all the European Union, the United States, the UK, all around the world, you pay taxes on your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency sales as income statements. It goes to your income statement. So if you have made $2,000 profit, it will go to your income statement. Okay, your salary plus 2,000 that you have made, you have to pay 21% or 22% taxes. So governments are never going to let go taxes. The only thing is that the technology ran faster than the law, and now the law has catch up, and all the European Union, all the United States, the UK have in place the taxation laws for these crypto assets. Let's say this. Thank you very much. Thank you. What are the procedures? We need 3 hours for that. We need 3 hours for that. The truth is, I started in 2016. I'm going to tell you something very quickly. I was invited to a birthday of a friend, lovely friend, Miguel. And we were about 20 friends there. And he started talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, And I got excited, and it was summer, I had time. So all the friends, we said, we are going to do it. So we started opening the exchanges and everything else. And it was so hard to open the exchange and to do everything and the pictures. It was so hard that out of the 20 friends, we only did it 2 of us, just because we had the time, okay? And that made a difference. But it is not easy to open an account in an exchange. It is still not as easy as opening an account on a bank. But obviously, if anybody needs help, I will be more than happy to help. And I will, and we need to do another session or a small session. In fact, soon we will have a session on personal finances that I hope everybody attends, and it can be part of that session for sure. Any other questions?
Thank you, Dr. Alberto. Was excellent, informative presentation.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Just one more thing that I want to add. I think the most important benefit behind blockchain is that it eliminates the middleman and eliminates the intermediaries into supply chain, from the supplier to inbound logistic to manufacturing system to outbound logistic to after sales service, which is connected all these supply chain element by electronic data interchange and facilitate the transactions of the data and money through different channels, and make the business more efficient and less costly, which is this is maybe the most important benefit and advantage of the blockchain.
Absolutely, Dr. Ahmed, you are totally right. And this is what it will change the entire financial and the entire business sector. The fact that there will not be middleman. And it has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. Nevertheless, as the blockchain progresses, we are seeing that it adds a lot of value to companies, business, and individuals. Thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
طبقا للإجراءات الاحترازية المتبعة في جامعة العلوم والتقنية بالفجيرة، يتم تعقيم قاعة المحاضرات بعد كل جلسة. لذا